Thank God. The guy next to me. I went down this thing.
Because you have to do all the meeting there, so it's all that. There's a lot of other things like this
requirement.
Anything better.
Okay.
That's too bad. One game for 2 years.
Yeah, I just posted.
All right, everyone, we're gonna get started. We're not able to live stream because we're having technical issues with that, but we're gonna record the meeting and post it later. To Facebook. So
just to let everyone know, if you need the restroom at all, it's to the right, it's down that exit to the right, so just real fast. I know how many people have been here, so.
all right, where you are.
Well, let's start out with the.
Flag. States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh,
Okay. Erie County,
Present.
Buffalo,
Present.
Niagara County,
Here.
Niagara Falls,
Present.
Millway,
Present.
DLT,
Present.
and FTA. I just saw Ashley online, so that's where I got confused.
all right, everybody have a chance to look over the agenda? Any motion to approve the agenda. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, previous minutes from June 18th.
Mayor Falls will make a motion. Any about 1 second?
Any questions or amendments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Over. Angelica, communications.
All right, communication report. Welcome everyone to the first Wednesday of July already. June was pretty short for us in terms of a lot of engagement. We have the most liked post across the board on all of social media was our We Hiring post. We were hiring the temperature condition assessment. That posting has since been filled. However, we got a lot of likes on that. This is an overview. You see the interactions, the reach. We had 1,088 non-followers see our post, which is great because that means that we're getting outside of our audience circle. So that's just good for us to know. Website, main pages visited, main page, maps and data, career opportunities, tip and race. As you know, tip and race were both big for the month of June. So there was a lot of foot traffic going into our website based on those. Keyword search, GBNRTC tip Buffalo bike path map, and our number went down to 22% down, 1499 total of visits to our website. We did have a surge previously, again, because of the tip and race, and then of course it went down to what our average is on our website traffic.
That's 22% less than last year, or is that?
From last month, yeah. The social media, Facebook, we're at 1,600, Instagram, 1,275, LinkedIn, 333 followers, and Twitter, 1,795. The average, it has gone up since last month, is about 2 followers per social media platform. As I mentioned, the top post we are hiring. For stakeholder engagement, there was the NISDOT R5 federal projects development training that happened. and the move roundtable meetings that have started with an FTA. For in the news, there wasn't much in the news for the month of May, but we did have Mayor Hunt host the State of Village presentation that happened based on trail news, and then we had the Town of Tonawanda road diet concerns that came out in the news for the month of June. Outside of that, as mentioned previously, any additional information that you may need, you will see on the communications report in terms of specifics for our website. We did have a public comment outside of a general public comment for the bicycle census that came in by email and was answered by Amy. And that essentially is it for the month of June.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll open up the floor for public participation. Please state your name and address for the record and keep it under 3 minutes.
Monkey Citizens Regional Transit, our headquarters is in Main Street downtown Buffalo. Just a quick thing, last month, I stood up and talked a little bit about the DOT project in Kensington, and focus of combining Jackwood and thing, and now there's no progress, so I guess I look forward to hearing from DOT during the report, what the progress is. I think we have a real opportunity with this project to do it the right way. The EIS that the DOT will be doing will require beginning with a scoping project, and we think that the way to do this is to scope it properly without focusing only on cars, but on what's best for the health of the community and for Buffalo, and move forward with that. So we look forward to working with DOT and this group making that happen. This could be a win for everybody, we think. So hopefully it's all turn out. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Anybody else?
My name is Tom Nemmer. I am, it's my first meeting. I've participated with a couple of things on the Facebook Live, followed the group. I represent a group called Hamburg Moves, which is a Hamburg Town Committee. And our charge is to advise the board on forward-thinking ideas regarding pedestrians and cyclists and hiking trails in the town. Hamburg is a town that has a lot of county and state roads, so we are somewhat limited in how freely we can think about making our own changes. But I guess I'm just here asking, this is my first meeting, asking how this group might advise me and my fellow committee members take advantage of the information that may be here and how we might best advise our town board in their thinking to do what's right for the community in pedestrian and hiking and biking. So if anyone has any thoughts or would be interested in hearing those, otherwise I'll just sit back and listen and follow along. Thank you.
I can answer that briefly. First, thank you for joining us. The first thing you could do, if you haven't already, I'd encourage you to join our mailing list so you get all the information that we put out. We develop a lot of plans for the whole region, and we've done a lot of work with the town and the village of Hamburg. So I would encourage you to get engaged with that work and volunteer to be a stakeholder whenever we're doing planning in and around the Hamburg or the South Mounds area. We rely on stakeholders in our various transportation planning projects to kind of give us the boots on the ground opinions from the public. So that's certainly a good way that you or anyone from any part of Erie and Niagara County can help to participate in that process. Thanks for coming.
Yes, my name is Barbara Rowe, and I represent Skajackwada Corridor Coalition, and it's my first meeting too, so it's pretty interesting. I had hoped that last month would have been my first meeting because I tried to do the Facebook stream and to be able to speak at that time, but I wasn't able to. So I feel like whatever technical difficulties you're having, if that can be cleared up, that would really help a lot of people. But I'm here because of the tip and the concern about the where the funding went that was reserved for the 198, and we were really hoping to see this move forward, and then suddenly it seems to be mysteriously placed somewhere else in an illustrated project without funding for planning. So if that could be clarified again, as you were saying, I look forward to hearing what the DOT says, what the response is, and how this is going to be
I can just make a brief comment that we're still looking in and developing the response to the comments we received on the tip. Those will be coming out within the coming weeks. And in there will be a comprehensive plan on how the DOT looks to move forward with Kensington and spectacular projects and how they're related to each other with respect to the city of Buffalo and the entire community. So
Do you have a timeline for that?
within the next few weeks, again, we're working on getting as many objectives as we can.
Hello, my name is Thomas Frank, and I'm a stakeholder in the village of Williamsville. And it was interesting. State of the village in your website. What's interesting is that we're going through a planning process as far as the community plan and the traffic on Main Street has been an issue for some time as far as the walkable village. That's the website. What was in the plan in 2010 was the access and egress to the thruway from Young's Road. And it was never implemented as far as it was never expedited. And that what's interesting is that as far as the traffic, it's a nightmare from the 290 to the 190 to Transit Road on a daily basis. It's bumper to bumper. And that this is the transportation vortex of northwestern New York. As far as the Buffalo Niagara International Airport and the thruway and Main Street, that there's an opportunity here for dealing with the New York State Parks Recreation. As far as the CFA, the Consolidated Funding Application for the Western New York Economic Development process, and that this is a regional process. And what's interesting is that the Google Maps, they sent me a notice that I've had 4 views of the Niagara Watershed Greenway Parks and Trails, that it's an interconnected. It has to do with the hydrogeographic topography through 2 things. One is the connection to the relicensing of the Niagara Power Project through 2050. The other is the connection to the Erie Canal National Heritage Corridor. Thank you.
Any other comments? If you're able to see if there's anything online or not.
We're not online.
Okay.
But I did check.
All right, we'll move on then. So under action items, it looks like Kim was up first.
We're having a couple issues here. All right, this is a request from NFTA to add 2 new transit projects to the tip. Pen 582642 is the DL&W Shoreline Rehab. It's a construction project. The purpose of this project is to restore and stabilize sections of the shoreline adjacent to the DL&W Yards and Shop Facility along the Buffalo River. This project will cover the entire shoreline length except for the section with existing sheet piling adjacent to the recently restored area. This phase spans approximately 1,200 feet. The total project cost for this is $23.6 million. Fiscal constraint is maintained as this funding is from the 24-25 NISDOT State Road Capital Public Transit Assistance Program. The proposed let obligation date is 11/30/24. This date reflects the date of the grant award for that. The second pen is pen 582843. That's station panel liner rehabilitation. It's design and construction. This project will replace existing steel panels located on the escalator tube tunnel wall of Humboldt and LaSalle Metro stations with newer, more durable materials that provide an attractive appearance, resist staining, and are very easy to clean. The existing steel panels are from the original station construction and have stains, rust, and peeling paint. The total project cost for this is 2.4 million. Fiscal constraint is maintained as the money is coming from 1.89 million from SFY 24-25 NISDOT State Rail Capital Public Transit Assistant Program and 513,000 from the 24-25 NISDOT State Rail Capital Public Transit Assistant Program. Again, this proposed let date is 11/30/24. That's the date that the grant was awarded. A 30-day public review period was completed on 6/22/25 with one comment received questioning the eligibility of the SRC funding. And on 5/22/25, the Interagency Consultation Group for Transportation Conformity, ICG, concurred with the proposed air quality conformity exemption, B8, reconstruction or renovation of a transit building and structure. Darren, did I have everything on that one?
The shoreline project will fix a portion of the city property, which is in really bad shape, so partnerships are good. And then we'll plan on fixing the rest that we're going to include in this project and identify additional funding. Obviously, this is.
Okay, all right, so today's PCC action will be to approve the two new projects via resolution 25/26.
2 seconds. Okay, motion made in second. Anybody have any questions on this? All in favor? Opposed? So moved. Rich.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. We have 3 project modifications in front of you this morning. First is PIN 581553. These are traffic signal replacements along Broadway and Church Street. So the request is for additional funding to perform updates to ADA ramps and sidewalk panels and to address increases in material and labor costs. Next slide, showing you a map of the locations. So along Broadway, signal at Gibson Street, Lombard Street, US 62, and North Ogden. And along Church Street at Pearl, Franklin, Delaware, and Lower Terrace. So the project cost is requested to be increased by $1.905 million. This includes construction phase increase of $1.7 million and construction inspection phase increase of $204,000. Constraint is being maintained as that $1.905 million. Okay, so that 10905 million transfer from an existing DOT project, 5B2006, which is an HSIP and HPP safety block fund. Obligation date remains unchanged at 8/25. Tom or Nick, anything to add to this one?
Covered all.
All right. Therefore, today's action would be to approve these changes as EDMA number 110.
DOT makes a motion to approve.
City Buffalo second.
Motion made and seconded. Are there any questions on this project? No comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moved.
Okay, the next modification is another DOT project, 576487, Fletcher Street over 2 Mile Creek. This is actually a miscellaneous project being supported by DOT. So this is for the design and development, design approval document they call the DAD. 30 years, I still learn new acronyms. So DAD is design approval document. So that has been delayed by 4F issues relating to the detour of the trail. For those unfamiliar with 4F, we were at our local project training course a couple of weeks ago. 4F refers to the original section in U.S. Department of Transportation Act 1966, which provides consideration of park and recreation lands, wildlife, waterfowl refuges, and historic sites during transportation project development. So because of this, the or obligation date has been delayed from the original date of 9/15/25 in FFY 25 to 7/15/26 in FFY 26. Slight typo there, but today's action would be to approve the let date as add mod 111. The DOT have anything extra?
DOT makes a motion to approve.
Great, kind of second.
Alright, motion made and seconded. Any questions on this project? All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
All right, and the last one is one that came in a little bit late, but everyone got the update in their packet. This is a request from DOT to modify an existing culvert project. This is 5LC101, Large Culvert Preservation and Renewal Project. Project costs will be increased by 3.87 million from 6.84 million to 10.7 million. Constraint is maintained as this additional 3.87 million is coming from 3.8 million statewide Protect program and $7,000 from a existing DOT project 5LC111, another large culvert preservation and renewal block. For construction deliverability, DOT has requested that this project be split into two projects. So the original PIN 5LC01 will be Large Culvert Preservation North. That includes Niagara and Southern Erie at a cost of 5.1 million. And 5LC102, Large Culvert Preservation South, which includes South Erie County and Cattaraugus at a cost of $5.61 million. Let of both projects remains 11/6/25. Anything to add to this one, gentlemen?
No, it's just the program is always in constant state of gymnastics, moving things around as project costs change. So again, yeah, we are maintaining it fiscally constrained right now by moving funds from a future large culvert project to cover these. And again, we typically get design approval for the larger group of culverts and then split them into more geographically suitable projects. They both say South Erie, but South Erie is very large. The ones in the northern project, the northern end of South Erie, and then there's some at the southern end in the south project of Cattaraugus. So.
Okay, so today's PCC action would be to approve both modifications, the cost change and the PIN split as add mod number 112.
You make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Any other questions on this project? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. That's it for our action items. Mind our discussion items and it's up again.
Yep. We have one item that is still in public review. This is a DOT project, Amendment 41 PIN 581617, Bridge Renewal Program. These are the two bridges for the I-290 that go over Sheridan Drive, Route 324. This project looks to eliminate the bridge structural deficiencies by utilizing cost-effective methods to render the structure non-deficient, develop a properly designed improvement based upon design travel forecasts and current design standards, which provides adequate capacity and service life of 75 years for the structure. The new bridge structure design should look for possibly removed piers in the middle of Sheridan Drive to improve sight distance at the intersection with Harlem Road. And investigate operational improvements on Sheridan Drive from Harlem to the I-290 westbound on-off ramp in coordination with new bridge design. Project will have a total cost of $22.86 million. However, this request is just to add the initial phase, the preliminary design phase that is estimated at $1.8 million to the tip. Proposed let date of that preliminary design phase is 4/25. The remainder of the project's phases and funding will be programmed on the upcoming tip. On 6/25/25, the Interagency Consultation Group for Transportation Conformity agreed with the proposed air quality conformity exemption of A19, which is for widening narrow pavements or reconstructing bridges with no additional travel lanes. Public review will continue for this project. I got a couple more days to do this one till 7/24/25. So anyone who has comments, you can submit them and we will respond.
Definitely gonna hold them to that total project cost, because it says will have a total project cost.
They use their own words.
It's a short slot. Okay, so if there's no questions on that public review item, just wanted to give an update on our TIP development status. As Angelica mentioned, it's been one of our major priorities going on. We're wrapping it up, as you can see down in the list. Don't expect you to read all that, but we're in the last third. Actually, we're in the last final sections, probably the last 95% of what we actually have accomplished as an MPO, and then it goes to the state phase for approval. So where are we right now? So we received, if you were at PCC last month, I detailed the comments that we received. We received 238 comments in roughly 10 different topic areas. Members have received those comments and are developing responses to them. GBNRTC will then respond to all public comments and integrate those comments into the final TIP document. In all, we're looking for final recommendation and approval to take place on August 6th. I'm sure Mike's going to talk about the meeting dates that are coming up. So in addition to the TIP itself, we need some support documents to be approved before the TIP can be approved. Those include an MPO self-certification that basically says that we are following all federal rules and regulations for all of our planning projects and procedures. We also need to do an amended transportation conformity document. And finally, we need to approve the draft TIP. So all of those will be either voted on for recommendation. Some of them already have been voted on for recommendation and voted on for approval on August 6th at the policy committee meeting. Did anyone have any questions on the TIP status?
How does the public comment? Where is that access point?
The access.
I mean, how do you get to a place where you can comment?
Where you can comment, we had several different ways people could comment on social media, on our website. There was a form, telephone, email, written letters. We received comments on a bunch of different ways.
So there is a link through the website, GBNRTC website.
Yeah.
There's a link available when we have a public comment period open. So for the TIP, it's closed. That was open.
I thought I saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that went from May 2nd to June 2nd.
We frequently have public comment periods open on various things. That may be where you saw something else. That's another good reason to be on our mailing list. All of our public notices go out through the mailing list and they have the timeline for each one. It's always 30 days, but it's just a matter of when we start.
We were also required to have a public meeting. We actually had two. We had a live public meeting at the NFTA headquarters and we had a virtual public meeting. So I believe the recordings of those are still on our website, on our Facebook site.
Any questions on the tip? What are our chances of beating Kelly?
I know she was on there before.
I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Good morning, everybody. So as we wrap up our discussion items this morning, we just wanted to call your attention to New York State's first ever master plan for aging final report that was just released at the end of last month. Builds on state priorities with existing funding included for the State Office of Aging, but this is a broad plan that really is aimed at all levels of government, local, state, national, and includes over 100 proposals aimed at services for older adults, as well as caregivers, whether they be formal or informal, formal being home aides that deliver services to those aging in place, or informal caregivers, whether it's, someone taking care of a parent, grandparent, or relative, friend or loved one, and the types of supports that those folks would need, all with the aim of helping older adults age with dignity and ideally age in place. Next slide. So this is the link to the overall report on New York State's Office for Aging website. Why are they calling attention to this now? Our demographics really tell the story. New York State has the fourth highest population of older adults in the United States. As we look out to 2030, the 65 plus population will make up 25 to 30% of the state's overall population. So the challenge is that within the 65 plus age group, the cohort of individuals 80 plus is the fastest growing sector within the older adult age group of 65 plus. So again, mobility challenges. We all know that older adults have already been trying to age in place, many located and living in suburban areas that do not have any option or out of driving. And the kind of new twist is that while that's been going on for a while, this is the first generation of older adults that are aging in areas that are not well served by their kids are also not living nearby as they did previously. So again, added pressure for that may not be local or additional needs for folks as they try to age with dignity and age in place.
Kelly, did we lose you?
Next slide, please.
Sound is going out.
She's got a delay, so a second
Okay.
to see the new slide.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Kelly?
There we go. Thank you. So with regard to 100 proposals, I wanted to draw your attention to two specific ones. Transportation proposals across the report, but these are two specific proposals that I wanted to call out as of interest to our member agencies. So the first is to encourage transportation work integration and growth, really building on and expanding services that we have already. So a lot of these services mentioned, whether it be volunteer transportation, driver networks, ride sharing technologies, coordination of services. Many of these activities are mentioned in our coordinated human services transportation plan and eligible for funding through 5310. The challenge here is that this is a proposal, but there's no dedicated funding specifically tied to this. So again, they're looking to leverage existing funding sources and expand funding opportunities, but nothing has been identified yet to date. Next slide. This one does mention the establishment of a $2 billion fund for grants to municipalities focused on capital improvements and infrastructure. No details beyond sort of the proposal that is baked in the report, but something for municipalities to keep an eye on as a potential additional funding source to leverage with other capital improvements you may be making to improve accessibility for older adults, whether it be to buildings or the ability to access our transportation systems. So again, ramps, elevators, wide doorways, universal design elements is what they're after here. So again, very general at this point, but something to keep an eye on and advocate for in terms of infrastructure upgrades to help everybody continue to thrive and navigate throughout the community as they age. Okay, so again, thanks, Rich, for including the link here again to the actual press release from the governor as well as to the link itself. Again, some overlap here, but we'll certainly be monitoring this going forward with our human services transportation planning efforts and as it relates to the next funding cycle to looking at those priorities with what we already have included in the HSTP for the next 5310 round of funding. So with that, happy to answer any questions folks may have.
Questions on this report? Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
That's all we have for discussion items. Moving on, there are a number of agency reports. Let's start with DOT.
Just one item, the roadway departure safety action plan call for projects. We collected all the applications, reviewed them, talked about different members that submitted applications. The formal submission was sent in yesterday to main office. We've not gotten the timeline yet of when they're going to respond with awards. But as soon as we get that timeline, we'll forward it on to the group. But a lot of really strong applications, and we sent in a lot of additional priorities above and beyond what our targeted funding amounts were to hopefully draw additional funds to the region to take care of some of the roadway departure issues that we have throughout our system. So hopefully we get some news soon. So,
No updates.
I think
Nothing.
Nothing current.
You're Kelly.
Nothing current.
Kelly will go in soon.
Actually, I have two things, and I'll try this, it's a summer, they're a little different, I'll mention our open house, which we've had several of, but we've got one coming up next Thursday from 9 AM to 12 PM at University Station, so we're hiring operators, mechanics, custodians for Metro and the airport, primarily Metro. And then the other one, which is kind of a fun one, every year up at Niagara Falls International, we do a run on the runway. Each year it's going to be in the evening at 7 o'clock on Saturday, August 23rd. So there should be more information coming on that soon. But if you want to run on the runway,
how far is it on?
so just yeah,
Much.
yeah.
Just two things from the city of Buffalo. One, thank you to the GBNRTC team putting together the race plan, safety action plan. The city of Buffalo did submit for a $25 million grant for corridor intersection and school zone improvements. So fingers crossed that we get some or all of that and even better on that grant. And then just a second thing, quick reminder, ongoing construction. Appreciate the patience. We've done some work on Main, Elmwood, Abbott Road, Seneca. So we'll be continuing hot and heavy for the season. So appreciate all the patience out there in the work zones.
And to the director's report.
Yeah, just one quick item for everyone and for the public specifically. NISDOT has released their draft transportation master plan. That's a master plan for how they want to evolve the transportation system for the entire state. It goes beyond just roadways, it's transit, it even gets into a little bit of maritime and airport stuff. But the public comment period is open. There was a public meeting presentation last night, it was virtual.